I would like to call to order the Winthrop School Committee meeting of Monday, January 27th, 2025. This meeting is being held in the Harvey Hearing Room at the Town Hall, 1 Metcalf Square. We are starting at 6 p.m. This is also available via Zoom and will be broadcast live on WCAT. May I have the roll call, please?
Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Here.
Mr. Matucci? Ms. Petrie? Here. Mr. Purinton?
Present.
Ms. Barry?
Here.
Ms. Powell?
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Petrie, can you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. I would like to ask for a moment of silence in honor of Mr. Jim Lederman. Mr. Lederman was a high school alum of Winthrop, as well as a URI grad. He played for the Vikings. He played football for the Vikings, and he was the former chairman of the WHS Hall of Fame. More significantly, he was the voice of the Vikings for 44 years and a sports writer for the Winthrop Transcript. He also wrote sports articles for the Lynn Item. He was well respected by the Globe and the Herald. He hosted a weekly sports radio show and was extremely committed to our teams and their success and our players. We all remember Mr. Lederman as the voice who loved Winthrop sports and enjoyed and encouraging our students to work hard and to reach their full athletic potential. Thank you. Do we have any public comment tonight? Do we have any public comment on Zoom?
I'm going to check. Is there any public comment on Zoom? If so, if you can raise your hand. I see none.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 6, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
One abstention. Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of January 15th, 2025?
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposition?
I think I have to abstain from
Opposed.
that one and say yes to the other. I can't remember which one I wasn't here for. Sorry.
15th was the special one.
Oh, I was here for that one. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're good
okay.
on the special one, was the other one.
Thank you.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve warrant SVW 25-13 in the amount of $477,104.28?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Ms. Leonard. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Yes, Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for warrant SVW 25-13A in the amount of $1,000?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 25-13 in the amount of $902,676.54?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Ms. Berry. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion for payroll warrant SPW 25-14 in the amount of $860,908.91?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Berry, second by Ms. Petrie. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call vote?
Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Abstain.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve invoices from the previous year in the amount of $20,724.42?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Ms. Leonard. Any discussion? Hearing none, may I have a roll call?
Ms. Leonard? Yes. Mr. Lettieri?
Yes.
Ms. Petrie? Yes. Mr. Purinton?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Powell?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the Winark Special Olympics and along with that, a waiver of the rental fee?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Petrie, second by Mr. Purinton. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes. May I have a motion for the Winthrop School of Performing Arts Holiday Show?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lettieri, second by Ms. Berry. Any discussion?
Is that their holiday show, or should that be their spring recital?
No, that's already been approved.
Oh, okay.
The booking
Oh, this is for
already
next
for
year?
the holiday.
Yeah,
Got
The
it, okay.
25 holiday show.
I meant to look
This
at-
year.
You're ahead.
Yeah.
They're really
They are
not.
way
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes. May I have a motion to approve the Arthur T. Cummings PTO Valentine's Social?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Leonard, second by Ms. Berry. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. And that brings us to the subcommittee report. Tonight it's on policy.
Yes, so Ms. Petrie, Ms. Leonard, and myself met to talk about the outstanding sections of the policy guide. Those are the acceptable use policy for technology, which we agreed to adopt a policy, which will be in our packet, so we can vote on it for the next meeting. The other section was for buildings and grounds, and we have a policy, again, that just needs a little editing, which we will accept, but we do want to open the conversation at the next meeting for discussion around the fee schedule. So again, that'll be in the packet next time, hopefully. And lastly, we agreed to adopt a social media policy, which we will also have in the next packet. We also agreed that we were going to hold off on an AI policy, acceptable use of AI policy, in the hopes that MASC produces one, or we can sort of adopt and gain inspiration from someone else who does it first, so that we can sort of follow guidelines versus trying to create one on our own without any guidance from the state.
Okay, very good. Any questions? I don't believe we have a vote tonight, so.
No.
We will move on. Superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you. So a few updates. I'm sure many know, if they watched or I've heard around the community, that there was a town council meeting last Tuesday in which the council took up the questions that we had presented, that we presented at our last school committee meeting, and those would be the questions that the school committee has asked to be placed on a ballot for the 2.5 override. So that was taken up by the town council, and they voted to accept the questions as proposed, as well as commit to a date for the election. So the date for the election is going to be Saturday, April 5th. There was lots of conversation on the committee floor as to when the date would be. It's sort of, you have to follow specific guidelines in terms of presenting the questions to the AG's office for approval, and then there's a series of days, I think it's 45 days from the time it's voted. It would be the first date that you could place it on the ballot. A member of the town council suggested a Saturday vote. You know, there's pros and cons to Saturday votes, to Tuesday votes, whenever it is. However, that is the date that they picked. There was lots of conversation around just ensuring that when the ballot is on, because the second part of that decision was whether or not the ballot itself was going to house both the school's 2.5 override question and then the debt exclusion question for the new firehouse. So the committee voted to have both of those questions, school committee override question and the debt exclusion question, on one ballot. So both of those items will appear on a ballot in April, on April 5th. There was lots of discussion about the town council supporting and working to put information on the town's website to provide clarity to the community. So certainly, the school committee will be working with the town manager and the town council president, as well as I'm sure the firehouse will be working for these two super important opportunities for our community. So more to come on how that will roll out, but we do expect to have a page on the town's website for the whole community to be educated on both of those questions, so that we're prepared so that everyone is prepared to come out and vote in April. And there was also discussion at the town council meeting about absentee and mail-in ballots. So for those people who have weddings on April 5th, or kids who are in sports programs, and they're traveling and they don't know if they'll get back in time, or people who are on vacation, that will remain an option. And again, more will be coming out on the website for people to be able to make sure that they access that opportunity. Just a quick update on enrollment. So as of today, as I scanned the enrollment sheet, and we had 2,017 registered Winthrop Public School students. It's a very much larger number than in the past, certainly larger than the October 1 report. Of those 2,017 kids, 13 of those students are students that are in either out-of-district placements or confined to home and hospital tutoring. So that just sort of speaks to that number. Vocational school, we have 59 students enrolled at the Northeast Regional Vocational School, 18 ninth graders, 20 10th graders, 16 11th graders, and 8 12th graders. Essex Tech, we presently have 3 students attending Essex Tech, 1 in the 9th grade, 1 in the 11th, and 1 in the 12th. And charter schools, from the information provided to us, so this number is not always as accurate as it appears on paper, because sometimes we get updates that new students are attending charter schools. We have 19 resident students, so people who live in the community of Winthrop that are attending charter schools. I put it in your packet, I believe, the Mass Partnership for Youth flyer. This was a great opportunity. It's a free parent solution library. It's available in both English and Spanish now, which is great. So we put that out on Facebook, and we communicated it at each grade, each school, in their home notice to families. It gives parents an opportunity to just go on the site and look up different supports or things that they may have questions about, and gives them some pretty valuable resources when they have time. So to be at home at night and have access to your computer and be able to kind of jump on this particular site, I think it would be beneficial to many parents. Love that it's in both English and Spanish. January 29th, that's a half-day district-wide. We have multiple PD activities going on in the schools, some curriculum focus at the elementary levels, some data review at both middle school and high school. And let's see, another very cool thing, the Drama Society, the Middle School Drama Society is presenting The Lion King. It's going to be on Friday the 31st in the evening, Saturday, February 1st in the evening, and Sunday, February 2nd in the afternoon. But on the 31st, during the school day, the Fort Bank students will be taking a walking field trip for the most of our students, and they'll be going over to watch it with the whole school. We'll be able to go over and watch the middle school students. So I know that the middle school students are psyched about that. Gives them sort of their first run through, and I think the kids are a wee bit excited. So Mrs. Reynolds is working on that. We have some students that will need to be transported over with mobility issues or difficulty walking for safety purposes, so we're working with the athletic department to use some athletic vans to get some of our folks over there. Let's see, next. I think I sent this email out. I know I sent it out, but for the public, we are very pleased to announce that we have an assistant principal. As you know, Kristen Reynolds assumed the responsibility of principal, and we have been searching for what we want is the ultimate perfect fit as an assistant principal in that building. And I think the stars were aligned, and I'm happy to report that we hired Mr. Robert Niblett as the assistant principal of the Gorman Fort Banks. He's going to begin on February 3rd. I met with him last week. He has many unique qualities, as I pointed out to you in the email, to navigate the challenges and opportunities of working with our youngest student. He's sort of a visionary leader. He has a very strong background in special education, as well as dealing with students at multiple grade levels, both in classrooms and on fields. So he's coached for us for several years. He has 30 years of experience, which is quite a bit, and many of those are in the administrative leadership realm. Bobby lives in Winthrop with his wife and his daughter Holly. His wife also works here, so we love to have that connection. He's presently coaching girls JV basketball and participates as a coach on the football team as well. So we're excited to have him come on board. I think it's a nice pairing. We have the majority of our special education programs exist at the Gorman-Fort Banks. So to have somebody in a leadership role as an assistant principal who also has that strong background and diversity in his field, I think that will be very beneficial, not only to students, but to staff as well. He's a great person to bounce questions off of, and his visionary skills in terms of programming are also equally as strong. So we're thrilled to have him. The winter concert has always been a tradition at the Gorman-Fort Banks School, so they're going to be doing that on February 14th. That's posted on their website. The coming school would, February 13th. I said 14th because I'm hoping for a Valentine's Day card. At the Cummings School, just a reminder that this is the last week of the first round of after-school activities. Session 1 activities ended on the 17th, so now session 2 begins. So I'm a little behind on that one. So session 2 began the end of last week, so they are up and running. Friday, January 31st is Fun Friday. They're going to have a school-wide pajama and stuffed animal day. And they use so people can donate $1, and that dollar that gets donated to the Kindness Club is being used to organize donations for the Red Cross to assist the victims of the wildfires in California. So always taking up a good cause at the Cummings School, so definitely worthy. And you heard for the building rental, the PTO is sponsoring on February 7th, the Valentine's Day social, Valentine's late afternoon social, 6 to 7:30. That flyer was sent out to parents, and they'll continue to inform them of that. Just a couple more little things. Just a quick athletic update. We have a few accomplishments since our last update. I think we talked about Talia Martucci scoring her 100th point, and this past week we had Philly Boncory, who plays hockey here for us, score his 100th point in his hockey career here, so congratulations. We also had 2 basketball players that were selected to the David Green All-Tournament team. There was a David Green tournament here in our school, and those boys are, Noah Bayersdorfer for the boys and Bailey Ferguson for the girls, so congratulations to them. That was such a, it was sort of an emotional event, for David Green, so congratulations to them going on to the All-Tournament. Both of our hockey teams are projected to potentially host an MIAA tournament game based on their record. So the boys' team is rated 5th in Division 4. The girls' team is rated 15th in Division 1. Those were hockey. Girls' basketball is rated 30 in Division 4. All 3 are scheduled to make the tournament. Hosting a tournament is always nice in town. Kids don't have to travel. We can get many community members to attend. Girls Gymnastics, which is a great program that we have here. They've been very competitive. They're 2 and 3, but the 2 meets that they had lost, they lost by 0.2, and they lost the second one by 1.1. So happy for the folks on that team. We currently have 1 student, Emmanuel Zapata, who is part of our wrestling co-op with Saugus. So it's nice to see that has been rebirthed. So go back about 2013, I think, 2012. My son was part of the wrestling team here in Winthrop. My husband was actually the coach. So he coached a co-op then. I can't say enough about co-ops and what they do for our students. We have co-ops in a few of our sports. Swimming is a co-op. I believe sailing is a co-op. And wrestling is a co-op. So having those co-ops, our kids get the opportunity to meet students from other communities that they wouldn't typically ever meet. The relationships that I know my daughter built with students from Lynn when she swam with folks from Lynn English and Lynn Classical, are still in place today. Some of those students ended up at Merrimack with her, and they had already had relationships. So I think it's a great program. Psyched that wrestling is back. And for Emmanuel, he has a winning record in his matches. A few more athletes of the month for December were Spencer Parco for basketball and Talia Martucci for hockey. Athletes of the month for January, Amina Barry for basketball, Isabella Rice for gymnastics, and JoJo Pumfret for hockey. And one other item is we still have a vacancy for a girls' tennis coach for the spring. So if anyone is interested in that, they can reach out to me or Athletic Director Mark DeGregorio, and our information is on the Winthrop Public Schools website. And I believe that's it.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, are there homeschool applications?
There are none.
And that moves us on to appointments and new hires, and to clarify, that is filling of positions.
Yes, so we did get actually a very good question from a community member, and wanted to know if when we go over our personnel during our school committee meetings, are the new hires, new positions put into the school's budget? So that was a great question. They are not new positions. The school committee approves the budget at the beginning of the year, which is inclusive of all the positions that we have. The new hires are new hires because somebody has either gone on a leave of absence or has resigned from their position, or it's something that we had yet to fill. So, and some of them, as I read them, they might be a week or two old, so people are already in place. So Deanna Stevens was hired as a one-to-one nurse for a student at the Gorman Fort Banks. Chris Haskell is the administrative assistant at Winthrop High School. He replaced Chris Suma. Sam Chen is a long-term sub. If you recall, Sam retired last year. We didn't let him go too far because we needed him to cover somebody's leave of absence. David Ford has taken over for the phys ed teacher who had resigned early on in the school year. Francesca Capone, who did some of her internships here, has come back as a multilingual teacher, and she replaced Ivy Horrigan. My brain is good. We had a resignation a month ago for in occupational therapy, and we've hired Emily Harris to fill that. Kimmy Caggiano is a long-term sub covering for maternity leave. I've already talked to you about Bobby Niblett being the assistant principal. And recent resignations, Angela Salazar, who is an art teacher at the Winthrop Middle School, has resigned, and so we're actively filling that role. And an ESP at the high school has taken on another position, Lauren Opinaro, and we're actively looking to fill that. We have no new retirements, and the only posting that is new is the long-term sub-teacher for the remainder of this school year in art.
Okay, excellent, thank you. I have on the agenda unfinished business of the 2.5 override, but I believe that that is actually finished business for now, has moved on to the town council. I will note that the Yes for Winthrop Override Committee is continuing to work. That is the Citizens Committee, and if anybody is interested in working or speaking with them, they can reach out at the Yes for Winthrop Kids, Winthrop's Kids, possessive Winthrop's Kids,
yeah.
at gmail.com.
And they also have a Facebook page, and that is Yes for Winthrop's, with an S, Kids.
Okay, fantastic,
They're
thank
very
you.
responsive if you reach out through Facebook.
Any other public relations?
Oh, I do. So, some of it I already did, but give me 1 second. And I will find it, yes. Congratulations to Dinner Theater on their 20th anniversary. Many people had gone. It was called Simply the Best, and it certainly was. Congratulations to the students of the month. So grade 6 Jaguars, Vivian D'Amico and Thomas Vajiger. Grade 7, the Falcons, Veronica Howington. Grade 8 for the Ravens, and I should be able to pronounce this name. It's not Aof. It's an Irish pronouncing. and- Eva, right?
AOIF.
Ava or Eva?
Aoife.
Aoife Turner, sorry Aoife, but now I won't forget that. And grade 8 Eagles, Raya Kodemez. Congratulations to Audra Carroll for first place and Will Reth for taking second place in the Winthrop Middle School Spelling Bee. I don't know if anyone saw it, but it was pretty epic. And hats off to the finalists, George Arsenault Holloway, Evan Pena, Will Reth, James McAdams, Mateo Agri, and Audrey Carroll. But a big shout out to Ms. Schulteis for the organizing of the school-wide spelling bee, and the judges, Ms. Houstel, Mr. Barad, and Dr. Beckfold. And I've already covered the student athletes of the month.
All right, fantastic. Any other public relations? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes, we are adjourned. Thank you.